dude Enrique and my boy Kevin. But the guest of the hour, the guest of the day, we got Selexa. Well, at least 2 members of the band. We're missing one. And as you can see, we got it back there all set up. Apart from my little intro, bro, who are you? Give a little snippet up to the audience for the people that don't know you.
I'm Oscar. I literally have been playing guitar for like 2 years. I just got really bored at college because I didn't know anyone. And I had like a really bad depression and like I didn't talk to anyone. There would be days where I can honestly say that I didn't have any human interaction for like 4 days. I can go straight without meeting anyone or talking to anyone. But it gave me a lot of time to just like do something I really wanted to do, which was like play music. And that was really fun. And then once I started playing guitar, I was like, what if I started singing? And then once I started singing, I was like, what if I hit up people and we start playing music?
Okay.
So, I'm Bella. I play drums. I've been playing drums for about my whole life. I've been like all over the place. I like lived in LA. I played at like different venues. Like I played at the Troubadour, if you know the Troubadour, some like Echo Park, like some stuff like that.
Echo Park.
Yeah, Echo Park. I played at some venues in there. I've known Oscar for good like 4 or 5 years, like kind of like a little bit, and then I started to get to know you like more within this last year. And yeah, just Oscar, like we would be kind of like, he's heard me drum before and like over cause he's my friend's brother, and so he'd be like, hey, like joke around, like you should jam a little bit, and just go on and off over like the course of like a year or two. Just like on and off, just like, hey, you should jam. And then they had another drummer, so like I wasn't really like going in, and then just like he hit me up. He's like, well, are you serious? Because like one day I was really drunk because with a mutual friend. I was like, I really want to start another band. Like I've been in other bands, and then like Holden, our bassist, like hit up Oscar, like, hey, like Bella wants to do shit, and it just kind of went from there. Just started playing with them, and yeah.
So how'd you guys originally meet though? Because we know Oscar from Cat City.
Yeah, actually, fun fact, Kevin, Enrique,
I went
myself, and Oscar, we all went to Cat City.
We all.
Yeah, I went to Cat City as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was class of 2019, so younger.
So
he's older.
Okay, for sure,
so yeah, because I know I'm friends with his sister Kimberly. So and then that's how we met, and I just knew him just from around the house, and he knew that I played music because they had a drum set in their house.
Yeah.
And so Kimberly would also tell him as well too. So that's how I know him. I went to Cat City, but I didn't really know him when we went to high school.
Yeah. I remember, like, you came over once, and we started smoking in the trailer, and that's when I first met you. And then, I remember the first thing I thought that always makes me think of you was you were like Patty Shamel. You went tell them about Patty.
So there's
Wait, pause. Who the hell is Patty Shamel?
Okay, so you know the band Nirvana, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Kurt Cobain's wife Courtney Love was in a band called Hole, and her drummer is this Patty Shamel. And she was my drum instructor when I lived in LA. So that's what it was. And so she's kind of well known like within that area. So she knew Kurt Cobain like back then. Yeah. So that's how like it's always like stuck because because she was my drum instructor like when I was like a kid for a couple of years. And so yeah, I'm friends with her on Facebook still. Like, so I showed him. So he was like, he's like, oh shit. He was like, you know her? So yeah.
See, honestly, I gotta appreciate the fact that you guys have ties to at least to me, like when I started listening to any type of like rock or any type of bands, it was Brandon put me on, and the first band he put me on was Nirvana.
Oh, really?
That's
so cool.
So
what? I respect Brandon so
like,
much more.
That's actually I think that's his favorite band.
Yo, Brandon, low-key, out of all of us, he's into bands probably the most.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about him.
We all fuck with it, but like him, like he
grew up on that.
Yeah,
like, he knows a lot more than us about bands. So
Brandon Soda.
But yeah, but anyway, shout out to Brandon.
Shout out Brandon.
I gotta appreciate you guys actually like know your shit. You guys are talking out of your ass because sometimes we not us, but me and myself as like I've had other conversations with other people and they're kind of just throwing shit out of their ass and you kind of like, oh fuck, I know you lying.
They just hear like these main bands they hear from TikTok and they're like, oh, they like say the name and they're like, I don't really know shit.
Exactly. You can't just hop on it. It's like whatever. But for you guys, how is your development so far? How has that been going on? Because it's you guys are starting up, you guys are going. How's that dynamic going within the whole band?
Well, okay. The funny thing is like, so we had plans to release an album, and we want to release an album this year, but like we like parted ways with our drummer, and then she came with us, and we were just like, is it still like logical? Is it still smart to like record a band, like record an album, because she hasn't been in the band that long, but she just fucking clutched it real quick.
Like, how long did you guys like? What was the time frame for you to be, I guess, drumming on the album?
Well, I think. What month did I join? Like May.
May. End of
May. But like with the three of us, we clicked like that. Like literally, we clicked the first like rehearsal like jam session I had with them. Like it was almost instant because the three of us are very like we all like the similar like kind of music, like Nirvana, old school, like rock. So yeah, so our progression as far as like with me being with them, pretty much everything has clicked like super well from just jamming. And we would get songs down like really fast. Like they would show me something that they had before, and then I would get it down, put my input, and just kind of put in like what I feel, and then it would kind of go from there, like really smooth, like really fast. I would put in whatever. I would drum something. You'd be like, that went in really well, and we got our songs down really fast. So it went from us just like constantly just getting down and down, putting little changes, and then like pretty much instantly we were going in the studio. Like it didn't take that long.
Like the way I like look at our music is it's really like spontaneous and vulnerable and natural, because it's like we don't really overthink a lot of shit, because I don't think my lyrics are shit, because like it's like
one thing I will say, I feel like since you're like new in the whole music stuff, I feel like you're not tied to all the musical rules that are like that happen in filming.
For real.
So like you're barely discovering that, I guess, your route and like how you want to take your music, because necessarily you're not learning from like, okay, let's say you went to guitar school or something, and all of a sudden you got you play kind of like your mentor, because you're shadowing off of him, you're kind of just going off with what you are actually feeling. That's hella tight.
No, straight
I gotta
up.
respect that shit.
Like because like the way I learned is like, so like Guitar Hero, like those fucking games, like you can no, you can unlock like videos and they'll show you, and I would just pause that shit and I would just look at that fool's fingers, like, and I'd be like, oh, he puts it there, and it's like, and it makes that noise, and I'm like, all right. I was like, I guess I'm gonna start doing that. I was like, I'm gonna start doing that shit.
Well, that's one thing like I've always liked too, is like, cause I've never really liked, cause I was in band in high school for a little bit too, and I never really liked the reading music kind of thing. I've always liked just kind of like the free form kind of thing, kind of play how you feel, and have some of like our own musical influences as well, just like bands, but just in general you have like your own type of flow, your own type of just style of the way you play. So that's what I've always liked as well too with us. It's really spontaneous. We'll start playing, and then he'll add something, and I'll just start playing like a little thing, and then he'll go on, and Holden will go on, and it's just like that. It clicks.
And like the funny thing is, like when we write, like when I sing and shit, most of it's like a freestyle, because like we're just playing, and then like I'm just
straight up, he'll like he'll go on the mic and start saying something.
I'll just start saying shit, and then like we usually record it, and then I don't change it, like, so like low key, like every lyric that's on the album that's coming out, that shit is just like I didn't rewrite shit. No, like that shit is straight up like
he was in the studio and we were recording this one song, and this fool we was about to do like vocals, and he was like, wait, I didn't finish it. So he was like, the producer, he was like, wait, let me do this really. He starts writing in his book hella quick. He's like, wait, let me do this shit real quick. So like literally it's like last minute. But it like always works out. Like it just somehow works out with him.
Somehow.
When you guys get, I guess, looking down the line, how far do you guys want to take Selexa? Where is that path as a whole going? Because I know, individually you guys got different goals and different things you want to take out of Selexa, but where are you guys taking it as a whole?
Shows. Hella shows.
Yeah, we just like
shows
as far as
fun.
we can. Yeah, we want to play. I mean, especially because like we started really playing during this whole Corona, crap. So. That's been like a struggle, just because, we can't really play shows and you want everybody to be safe, Yeah. So, hopefully we'll have something lined up soon. I think we have something lined up kind of soon.
Yeah.
In January, possibly. Okay. And we kind of like have ideas about like hosting like a backyard show, but like a COVID-friendly show, like kind of like social distancing and just kind of like spread out, because we have like a lot that's like big, And you could totally have like your own groups of people. Like it's big enough for people to have like kind of their own crap going on. So that's what we want to do is like shows. For one thing, we want to start doing shows because it's fun connecting with your audience and the people and your community and people, you know, but like people that are alike really. So that's the next thing is shows. Really.
Hell yeah,
You guys have played at other shows before, right?
Yeah, we played
not
shows.
with me.
Not with her.
As a band. I've played shows like just with other bands I've been in, but not as Selexa, I guess.
Which is why we're fiending, bro.
Yeah.
Fiending
Especially
for a
by
show.
the time we release, you know, our EP and everything.
Yeah.
And when you guys release the EP, do you guys have a plan for that? You know, starting up, coming up, how is that going? Like, what's the strategy behind that? Or is it just more of like a like
just
we're dropping it and then we're just gonna continue hyping up with the shows?
Promoting it, really. I think just like
Yeah.
kind of just promoting it, especially on our Instagram, people that we know. So slowly, because we're gonna drop the single first, Title 9, and so that'll be like the start of like hyping it up.
Okay.
And then just kind of go from there. Just start hyping up the EP. Hopefully, we'll be able to play a show in time,
For
like
real.
around the time, like hopefully like an EP release show or something, like it's just a COVID safe like show.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that we probably do to kind of hype it up.
Yeah.
So about your single, Title 9, like, you know, why that specific single and why is it called Title 9?
Oh, so Title 9 is like in colleges, like on the rule book, it's like that's like the title that fucking talks about sexual abuse and sexual assault. And it's like I just remember like going into like family rooms in college, like in the dorms or walking by, and like it's like something college kids say. They'll be like, hey, did you hear that one girl in that sorority got caught up in some Title 9 shit, which is like she got fucking assaulted.
Oh, what?
So it's just like that's just how like
Damn, that's the first time
I've
I hear
never
about
heard of
that Title
something.
9.
yeah,
Damn.
because it's like it means
No,
like
I've heard about that shit.
It
Like
means you
I've
got
heard it in
some
songs
songs.
and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
never knew what the fuck it meant. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, fuck college. Straight up. I don't care. I just fuck college. You know, not bagging on whoever goes, but fuck college.
I was literally just in a class right now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Zoom class
turned off, bro.
Yeah, backstory. When Oscar pulled up, he said, "Bro, I'm in class right now." Like legit, his first fucking thing. Not even like a hi, hello.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in class right
just
now.
straight up like
You just got out of it right now.
you just hear like the placenta going into the like fuck.
But yeah, that's what your story behind it.
Yeah, low key, because I mean when it came to the freestyle and shit of that song, like I just like that's the shit I was pissed off about at the time. So then when I heard those like what I was saying, I was just like, low key, I should call it Title 9.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So I think
that's how that
it's like one, it's like a good song. Like it's like a song that like all three of us are all mutually like it's a really good song.
happened.
It's like our favorite off of it, and then as well too, I feel like it's kind of like a good like shows like who we are, I guess, as a band, like just kind of like shit that we stand for. Especially a lot of shit like going on in the music community with, you know, motherfuckers who are like sexually assaulting girls, make girls that don't make girls safe at shows. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the scene that's always gone on in the scene.
You're just been, like
so-
underneath everything.
Yeah.
So it just kind of shows like what we stand for as a band. Like don't stand for that shit. You know, like.
What do you guys stand for? Like, what is Selexa?
Feminism, gay pride. Feminism and gay pride.
You want to speak up a little bit more about that? Like,
Yeah, because
What
it
exactly?
is a a strong position to stand in as a band. So it's like, you know, what exactly is that,
It's
or like
very much
why do you guys stand behind that? You know.
So like okay, so my sister came out to me before she came out to like my parents, and I always took that as like a real sign of trust. And like I always got called gay because every time I fucking talk to a girl, they're always like, oh, I thought you were gay. And I'm just like...
Honestly, like, I've gotten that.
Yeah.
I'm straight, but I've gotten that.
And I'm like, I know I'm fruity, so it's like, it's all
I know some people like joke about it, like Oscar like is more feminine than me because I'm gay and I'm more like masculine gay than Oscar's like he's straight and he's
No,
more
low key,
feminine.
like we're softer than her, so that's just shit that's like funny about us.
when did that expression come out, though? Because in high school, I feel like you held off a little bit with the full expression, and now that I see you, you know, sometimes you're wearing lipstick and stuff. When did that confidence come? Was it right after high school?
Oh, bro, I love what are those shits called that you
The
wear?
hair clip.
The hair, bro, that
Barrettes,
shit,
barrettes.
bro, that's the best. That's the best.
Dude, I have like every single color, and it's hard because I'm colorblind. So I be picking like the wrong color, and my mom will be like, "That's the fucking wrong color."
Bro.
And I'm like, you know what?
Just go with it.
Yeah.
But, like, I've seen that a lot, like, especially, like, within the last, like, couple of years, you've been a lot more confident with yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of that kind of expression, too.
I mean, so like, mental health, that's another thing we fucking will like to stand for. Because I've had anxiety, I'm diagnosed with panic disorder, so it's like, my sympathetic nervous system just like amps up for like no fucking reason, and I'll just like start like breathing heavily and start fucking panicking and thinking I'm gonna die. And then
Bro,
like,
I feel that shit.
yeah,
I got
straight
that
up.
shit too, bro.
Straight up.
Hell yeah, low key, I'm glad you said some shit about it. This is some shit that we want to stand for on the podcast. Mental health awareness. Like,
Yeah.
I got anxiety too, bro, and I feel like no one really understands that shit,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
I
it's
mean,
a little
I
different.
didn't. Like, I remember throughout high school, like, that shit would freak me out. Like, I would always, like, ask to go to the bathroom and just go. And straight up, like, I'd be spending minutes just, like, walking in a circle because I'm just, like, freaking out. And it's like, I don't know what to do. Or I'll be, like, opening doors and closing them again. And I could do that for hours. And I'm just like, what the fuck's happening? And that shit, like, interrupts your life so much that you, like, end up, like, really fucking depressed about it. And then I think it was, like, after I was, like finally getting the treatment I really needed and like knowing like what that entailed and starting to, I don't know, just going through all that shit, it was just kind of like, well, might as well do what I want because can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's
So
kind of just like, it's kind of like seeing your situation and working with it, you know, and trying
Yeah.
to like see the pros of it, or
Yeah.
the positive side of it, you know, because
Yeah.
that shit sucks, you know, that shit truly
for real.
sucks.
Yeah.
So like being in it and being in the position that you are and trying to see, you know, like a positive light sometimes it's hard. So,
Yeah.
so shout out on some real shit, like
Yeah.
that's
Shout
tight.
out.
So does like Selexa, does any of the music reflect, you know, what you just told us right now about
Oh,
the things you do?
I know, yeah, like
The
with
name.
Title IX, yeah. Well, so, Selexa is one too, like, because it's
Selexa
a depression.
It's an antidepressant. Yeah, Selexa with a C is an antidepressant, and like I used to take that shit and like in combination with a lot of other shit, and then like I don't know, it's just when I stopped giving a fuck and started like really doing what I love that like I started going lower and lower in doses, and like every time you go to see your psychologist, they give you that paper and it's like, are you having thoughts of suicide? And like every single time it's like you get lower and lower, you're like, not really, and like the next week you're like, not at all actually. So like eventually like the music and like the art that I like to do, it just became like Selexa became the new Selexa. So it's like that's how I look at it. So I was like, we should call the band that.
I feel that.
We should call the
I get
band that.
That's tight.
Wow.
And then then like one of our TikToks blew up and that shit was really exciting. But then we got an email and they were like, so you're trying to use our pharmaceutical name. It's like, don't use that. So we said S.
We changed it to an F.
I did notice that recently.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to look you guys up with the C.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't find you guys. And then I saw that it was with an S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did that shit too. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, isn't this Alexa? Isn't it
Right.
it's simple as fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, no, we got hit up being like, don't do that no more.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. How was that? Like, what was the video that you guys put out?
Low key, it was just like talking about the bands that we like. Like it was just kind of being like, cause I mean, in high school, like I didn't know Brandon was into that shit. So it's like we don't know each other like that. So it's like I didn't think anyone liked that music. And well, obviously everyone fucking did. But I don't know. It's just kind of like when you find those fools.
Yeah, but it's just like a big pharma, huh? So like shit like that. It's just like fucking big pharma that hit you up, like get the fuck off
So
of our
before we
stuff.
started this podcast, I did not think we would be talking about big pharma or like.
It was though.
Yeah.
They straight up hit us up. They're like,
Fucking
don't.
big
They're like, get the
pharma.
fuck
Big
off of our shit.
pharma.
For real. Like, fuck big pharma.
That's funny.
No, but I have seen your TikToks. You've been grinding.
Yeah.
Like, what motivated you to put out content like that on TikTok? Like that's a little different.
Shit. I don't know. I mean, it was really just like for fun, cause like we would post like River like when we were like drunk as hell, like River passing out,
Yeah.
and then like I don't know. It was just kind of like I just wanted to find people, and like because like now like we have all these people that like we have so much in common with, and we could talk to, and like they literally fucking go through the same bullshit we did. So it's just nice finding people like that.
It kind of builds up more of like a platform for us as well, and
Yeah.
kind of finds more like-minded people that like our music and like similar music. So yeah.
So I get that. So you would say you found a community, right?
Yeah, like
pretty much.
You guys are
before.
starting to build, I guess, your own community for
Yeah,
Selexa,
Yeah,
right?
like
Yeah.
before, like I would post like drag queens and gay like men, and then like we would lose followers. Like I remember there was time we would lose followers like 10 like a week or something like that. We would just lose them, and it's like, well, we don't want them anyway. And then now we're posting that shit, and then we're gaining, and it's like, okay, like we're finding the people that like we can really
Finding your niche, yeah.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
we're finding the
more-
people that
more
really
people.
understand what we're trying to do.
Yeah, because it's like people like are listening to like our music, like you want them to kind of relate to it. You don't want like people who are like
Yeah.
the exact opposite of what
For
we stand
real.
for. Like Republican people are like people who like because our I don't know, we're like also really political. You know,
Yeah, I was
like we fucking like love Rage Against the Machine. Like we would go to Black Lives Matter
Oh, yeah.
protests.
That shit
And we would be
blasted.
blasting Rage Against the Machine because Rage Against the Machine's like really political,
Fuck yeah.
and we would be blasting that shit to protests and just like.
And
So
then
that's another thing that we
this
really
whole-
stand
oh,
for.
wait, he's not here no
Yeah.
more.
Holden.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Was-
My bad about. Honestly, I don't know why that fucking computer times out. I put that shit on like don't time out and it still times out.
For real.
My bad.
It'd be
It,
like that.
it'd be like that, yeah.
It'd be
We
like
understand the
that.
struggle,
Turn
bro.
out the TV though, so that no signal gets off. It's on top.
What?
Keep going. There you go. It's around there. Yeah.
But straight up, the bass player,
Turn it off, bro.
he would use his white privilege and he would go up to
Oh, the
cops.
cops,
Yeah,
straight
because it's like,
up.
I was like, I'll get shot. She'll definitely get shot. And so like, we're gonna ask like our white member to go up and be like, officer, what the fuck?
Yeah, he straight up like one protest we went to, he like straight up was telling the protest like this one officer to like get in the fucking protest because they're just sitting there, standing there, waiting for something to happen. They just want something to fucking happen.
Yeah.
And he straight up went to one officer and like got in his face. So of course the officer didn't do shit because he's like Holden's just like this little white.
Well, this is little white
like-
kid, yeah.
But
It's fucking great.
But yeah, he's a great person. And shout out to Holden.
Shout out
I miss
Holden.
him. I miss him.
We miss him more than anything.
He's in Indiana.
Oh.
He's in
Oh,
college right
yeah,
now.
college.
Yeah, but
When's
he's
the next time he's coming down?
probably the holidays when
Yeah.
they're out of school. Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
hopefully try to get something together, especially like a show, like I said, like some
No,
COVID
we'll
safe
pull up.
backyard
Y'all better
show.
invite us.
Yep.
For
Oh, for
sure.
sure. Open
Yeah.
invite. Look,
Yeah.
you already know. So
See, I think I went to the first show you guys had.
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
to the very first one. I went by myself actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
legit,
I appreciate that, by the
I pulled
way.
up and shit. Yeah.
Because like I remember there was like when we performed, it was like there was only like 4 people there, and we were used to that. Like there was times, I mean we still played to like 4 people, but
Mhm.
it was like it always meant something because like you remember it's 4 people, you remember every single one. It's like I appreciate that you
Yeah.
came.
I've been there since the beginning.
Yeah,
like
I
all
was
the
like,
homies like around here in the
yeah.
community. Yeah.
I was like you
So
straight
that's
up
why
came.
it's really important, especially like getting a lot of other artists, like local artists around too. I think that's really important for a lot of local artists to come and
For real.
support each other.
And there's good music here.
Yeah.
For
Like
real.
honestly, there is like really
Mhm.
good artists, up and coming
Hell
artists here in the
yeah.
valley.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I'm really happy you guys say this because I guess for on our end, on our market, you know, because we were both in different markets. You guys are doing music and we're doing like a whole entertainment
Yeah.
side of
Yeah.
the Coachella Valley type of thing.
Mhm.
And what we've discovered, and I'm fucking happy you guys say this shit, is that motherfuckers are actually doing something here for once.
Mhm.
Like they're actually getting some traction. They're actually getting some confidence to actually put themselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I'd never seen motherfuckers do that, like, ever in my life. And maybe it's because we're now wrapped up in it. Maybe it's because, like, now we're actually trying to go and seek it. But at least growing up, I've never heard of no motherfucker come out of here, like, from rapping or, like, make his own shit, you know, until, like, now. So it's, like, it's tight, you know. Shout out to the Valley for actually
Yeah.
putting you guys on, like, putting yourselves on the map. Because no one's doing it for you. It's honestly y'all. Like,
For real.
it's your own self-marketing, your own self fucking putting yourself out there into the valley, and then from the valley trying to grow and expand that motherfucker. So
Mhm.
on some real shit, shout out to y'all and shout out to everyone doing that
Yeah.
shit.
So hopefully we get something together too. A lot of like other local artists too. Whenever we do, we try to arrange something together. Because I think it is really important for the community to get each other. Because you know we're all from the valley. We all got each other's backs and everything. And I have noticed that as well too. A lot of people like lately within the past like couple of years, a lot of people have been just, you know, a lot of artists have been coming up. A lot of people have been doing stuff for themselves and each other. So yeah, for sure.
Do you guys think it'll ever die down? As like, as you know, you guys are as a band, as people. Do you guys see this like thing dying down eventually, like
I
in the
think
future? You know.
Yeah. I think like as long as people want to play the instruments, like they're like bands will never cease to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, like the market's so saturated with like non-instrumental shit. Like you could just cook up songs like anywhere, but like I still wanted to pick up a guitar, and it's like I'm pretty sure someone else is gonna want to, like way younger than me. So it's like.
But I see a lot of people like in the valley that are very like hungry for success. They really like just want to kind of put the valley on the map, or just kind of want more people to kind of know. And I also see a lot like the valley is kind of like getting up there as well too. Like a lot of people from LA are coming here as well. So I think they're honestly like the hype will be there for a good while, especially a lot of people it's boring here. A lot of people, they have their friends, and I think a lot of people like around here will just always want to do something, you know? Especially because it's
a lot safer. That's my main argument when it's like you should come to a show. It's like they're a lot safer than the parties we have here, because like when I went to college and I would talk about how like everybody would pull out a gun at every fucking function you pull up to.
Where?
Really? Yeah. No, here.
Oh, here. Oh,
yes,
I was like, really out there trying to motherfuckers pulling out straps? Like,
no.
Okay, because the last time, I knew fucking Oscar went to Channel Islands, and Channel Islands is like a white preppy type of like place. I was like, motherfuckers pulling out straps over there. Like, what?
Hell no, they won't. But when I would tell people, they would be like so fucking thrown by that. They'd be like, I can't believe like people are pulling out straps at a function. So it's like, that's why like nobody really feels safe going to parties here. It's like, show to a backyard show, like it's fun.
You go to a backyard show, you don't really expect shit to really go down.
I think the majority of the shows that I've been to, they've been dope.
Yeah,
I've always appreciated what they do with what they have. You know.
Yeah.
That's it. Like what they do, what they have, they present the fucking show, and it's cool.
And it's usually like a lot of love at shows as well too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, other artists, you know, they know each other and they have each other's backs like that, and just usually a lot of love at shows.
What show was it that I just missed you guys at once? Like, I pulled up when that shit was ending, and you guys, I don't know if you guys saw me, but all you guys were walking out with your equipment, and like,
probably New Year's.
What show was that?
Was it the New Year's show? Was it New Year's?
Was it
I think that was the last show that you guys...
This year.
Oh, it was at Jasmine's? Because like we played at Jasmine's, and then we played a New Year's show.
I'm not sure which one it is, but I've actually seen you at, first time I ever saw you was in high school. It was that coffee thing.
Oh, the coffee house?
The coffee house.
Upstairs?
And then I saw you guys at Summer
forgot
Days.
about coffee house.
Yeah.
I remember that shit was popping up until sophomore year. Our junior and
That
senior
shit was popping.
fucking
Straight up.
never happened again.
Yeah.
That shit was cool. Motherfuckers come out all jazzy, all bluesy.
Yeah.
Fucking one of my you know Ellie as well. She used to
Yeah.
sing in that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking coffee house. Shout out to Ellie.
Shout out Ellie. Oh, that's the homie from Dream Homes too.
Oh
Shout
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Shout out
Dream
to
Homes.
El Barrio Dream Homes.
No, okay, well, with all the shows that you guys want to do, obviously you guys are going to bring homies, you know, you guys are going to bring people that you know, but how does it go with the competitive aspect? You know, I feel like it always changes because you are trying to put yourself out there. You are trying to be the best that you can be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you're surrounded by your community, by your homies, like, how do you bring that competitive aspect out? Because at least for me, in my own dance world and Box 760 world, like, it's always competitive, you know? Like, I don't care. Like, I'm, like, for us with the Box 760, it's always, like, we try to bring up the best quality, the best audio, the best this that we can, because, like, we're really not trying to match with the other podcasts in the Valley. I believe, like, the other podcasts in the Valley don't match us.
Yeah.
You know, especially because we bring out that competitiveness. From this man to myself to motherfucking Enrique, like, we all played sports and we all want to be number one.
It's our nature.
And the homie back there.
Back there.
Jay-Z.
I forget about the homie Jay-Z because he's the cameraman, so he's kind of like he's like breaking the fourth wall if I bring him in. You know what I'm saying?
Let's break it.
He's
What
like,
about
he's
Jay?
like,
but
Yeah.
but in like, you know, as a whole, as you know, Jay-Z, myself, Kevin, Enrique, like, we're all very competitive when it comes to it. You know, we always try to perform. So like, how would you bring that aspect out, or not? How would you bring, or how do you bring that aspect out?
Fuck. I mean, I'm not very competitive. I mean,
Used to play
It's like the-
baseball,
just
not
like-
Like
Yes.
there's rap battles
Baseball.
and like rap. Like people in rock, do they have any
It
battles?
was like
at
a
all?
battle of the bands.
Yeah,
type
there's
of
Battle of
thing.
the Bands, but
Well, there's
like,
like nothing really like that like around
Yeah.
here. I don't know, just like just the quality. I just like to say that the best we can do is just like our quality, like how we are as a band, like our morals as a band. One thing, like we're not
Mhm.
like
Okay.
we're not like other band. Like some people could be like pieces of shit, like assholes. Like I say that's
Yeah.
one thing that we have is that our morals are actually really tight.
Low-key.
Another thing, like in our music, when we're recording in the studio, like that's another thing is that we make sure that it's good. You know, like we hear it over. Especially
Yeah.
Oscar. Oscar is always on top of everything. Like I know Oscar will always speak out against something. Like he puts it. No, you put your
Yeah.
mind to shit. Like if you want something, he wants something. So like he'll front right now, but when you want something, when you want something, you will go and get you'll get your
Right?
shit. Like
Yeah,
you know
that's
what you
what-
want.
yeah.
Like you know what you want. Oscar knows what he. So I like when in the studio with our music, like we always strive to just put the best out what we can and try to always like put our vision out. So whatever we're thinking, like especially
Yeah.
you, Oscar will always like try to put that shit down. He always has it down.
It's never like thinking about other people. It's just kind of like, I just like what I learned from my dad is just working hard and shit. Like I think working hard makes a lot because like I never really doubted myself ever because whenever I wanted, because okay, my parents like they never really motivated me to do good in school to do anything. So it's like if I wanted something, I would have to find the motivation myself.
Yeah.
So it's like when I wanted to record this album, but I have to pay for school because like Corona fucked with my scholarship, so I'm not getting any. So it's like I have to pay for school, but I also want to keep the music going. So it's like let me fucking pick up work at Del Taco. Shout out Haiti Escobar. She gave me the job like in one day. She's the manager, and she gave me the job like the same day because she knew that I was like I'm trying to save up money to record an album, and she was like, here's your hat. And I was like, hey.
That's tight. Shout out.
And she gave me hours too.
She gave you like
Shout out Del Taco, dude.
Yeah.
That shit paid for the
I
album.
always get the fucking 2-layer veggie burritos, bro.
That shit's a
All the
bitch to
way.
me.
He's the one
He said, fuck you, bro. You making heavy ordering that shit.
part of the fucking problem.
I was like,
Oh, fuck. He said, don't be ordering that shit, bro. What the fuck wrong with you? Fuck. No, but that's tight. Like, I honestly, the message that you guys are bringing forth and trying to stand up for what you guys stand for, and it's not really just like kind of choosing a position. You guys are actually, living through it and going through it, and that's why you're standing, in that certain position that you guys are in. That's fucking tight,
Yeah,
Like,
thank you.
regardless if it's competitive or it's hard work, it's same shit, and you guys are trying to get there.
Yeah.
And that's tight, With your other member, how does that dynamic work?
But it's like a new this just happened because he kind of just like was kind of like, hey guys, so I kind of have to go back to school, and we're just like, fuck. Yeah, because he kind of because he's in Indiana, so it's just like they can go back to in-person learning, so they don't really have to do so. That is something kind of new that we're coming across. Because one of our plans was like when we're gonna start actually like working on more music, because we're putting out this EP and that's like pretty much all said and done, final, already done. So when we put out new stuff, we're probably just gonna record separate stuff, and he sends whatever he sends into us,
Okay.
and we put that together. So hopefully we can like start producing our own music or start kind of putting our own music together instead of going to other people, because that is like one thing that is kind of hard with him being like in the middle of the fucking country.
For real.
So that's gonna be like that is like a one. That's an
something you guys
obstacle.
have to see how that's gonna work.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
forward.
it's just kind of like a see as you go kind of thing going on, because this is new. Like it just this semester just started recently. So right now it's kind of good timing because we wrapped up the EP.
Yeah, and we're just like
yeah.
preparing to set that off, so it's like it's fine. It like because me and him could just work from a distance. Like we're always texting, always like talking to each other. It's like it's fine.
So
Yeah, I mean, the reason I ask is since you guys are moving you guys do say like it's more when you guys make songs it's like a freestyle and you guys are jamming and you guys are bringing things in, it's like, oh shit, now he's in Indiana,
Yeah.
I don't think that it's the same feel, through
Yeah.
a Zoom call to jam
Because you have to like sit down and listen to the song.
because me and him will jam and we'll be like, fuck, Holden isn't here. It's not the same because the bass does bring in a lot. Bring in a lot of the rhythm and everything. So the bass is a lot of work. So, and he definitely he's a really good player. Like, I love him. Like, he's such a sweet person.
So, one thing I want to say is every solo, like, guitar solo that is on the album isn't me, it's him. He has, like, this effect pedal that he clicks, and it turns his bass up, like, octaves. So it sounds like a guitar instead of being, like, on the low frequencies, it's high. So, like, I know people are going to think it's me, because it's, like, it sounds like a guitar, but it's, like, it's him.
It's him.
So it's, like, if he's not here, I know people like to talk shit about the bass player and be like, he's just fucking doing some shit. But, like, no, he's actually, like, a really big fucking part of the music. So it's like, if he's not here, like, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, because it kind of sounds a little empty because a lot of bass is just rhythm, especially, like, I play drums, so a lot of, like, bass and drums go together, like, really tight. So, like, a lot of the rhythm goes between both of us. And so, yeah.
I feel like that about every instrument because my little brother, he's 15, he also plays in the band. And I see that they got like hella instruments, but you take one of those away and it's just not the same.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
So
I feel like it's like playing Guitar Hero, when you're fucking up.
I know, it's like,
the band just starts fucking up and it's like you fail. That's it.
Pretty much.
That's imagine how
that kind of is
how I picture it.
how it is. We'll be
up.
jamming and it'll be like we don't have Holden, and hold down the rhythm. We're like, it's not the same.
Not the same
So,
at all.
Hopefully it's something we'll kind of figure out, especially when he flies in here, whenever that is during the holidays when he has a break off. Something we'll kind of get to talk about together.
And he has a fat break off, so it's like we're gonna be grinding for sure.
Hopefully. Especially, like, hopefully grinding to get, like, a plane ticket out for him, too.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to get him out here.
Yeah, the flying here.
Yeah. So, about the EP, is there, like, a certain vibe or a certain tone that you guys have set for it?
Oh, it's hella raw. Yeah, so, Sandy Studios, Jake Sonderman, he's the one that recorded us and mixed us. And it was just funny because a lot of the bands he does, it's like he makes them sound like really big, like stadium rock and really professional. And like every time he would try to do something like that, we would always be like, nah. We'd be like, turn that shit off.
More raw.
EP. What is, you said it's raw, the feel.
No protection.
Yeah.
No protection.
No
That shit's...
we
raw dog the studio.
No glove, all love.
No glove,
all love.
No glove, all love. That
You
shit,
feel the love in the EP.
yeah, you can feel the love because that shit is just straight up.
Yeah.
Like what we played is like what's fucking on there.
Pretty much, like less effects. So like I'm not really big for like sounding like it sounding like fake. I like it to sound just directly how we played it, really, because a lot of it we want it to be like kind of like a one take thing and we just kind of just play it. So
One take day.
For real.
That's definitely a very different approach, compared to like other people because other people want it to be very, very perfect.
No, I have hella voice cracks.
Yeah,
Hella
like,
voice
I was more
cracks.
so like in favor
Hella off-key.
because especially like when your guitar would kind of do some feedback, we'd be like low key like keep that in.
Yeah.
Like some things we'd be like playing and we'd be like low key keep it in.
Yeah, like little like things we just be like keep it in.
It's very different. It's very different. Like what you guys say, going into the EP and how you guys wanted, I guess, the vision that you guys had and how you guys wanted to execute it. Like that's tight. Like
the third eye.
that's very. At least from the other artists that we've had on the podcast, they've always been very like, oh no, like, I had to make this, I had to make this happen and this, and then effects and all this other shit. But like you guys are like, nah, keep that in.
Yeah.
Make me sound like
Yeah,
this.
because
I
we're
don't
like
give a fuck if my voice cracked.
Yeah, I was like, keep it.
It's just like classic garage rock.
Yeah.
Like really, that's so how we like to keep it. Just kind of just straight up.
So would you guys say you have like any like major inspirations, in the music industry?
Bikini Kill.
Bikini Kill, Riot Girl Punk.
Riot Girl Punk.
Of course, always Nirvana is like always a classic, like a really big influence. Always looked up to Kurt Cobain, like just as he was a great person, great music, great morals. Like a lot of the morals that we stand for, politically, ethically, like really is a lot like kind of similar to how Kurt Cobain was.
Because that's an artist that you really can't like worry about. Like there's a lot of artists that you hear and you just kind of like, I mean, maybe they did some shit. And most of the time they did do some shady shit. But like he's like Nirvana, that band is like one that is such a safe bet. You could be like, nah, they really did stand for it and they really like lived it. So, and speaking of which, something I'd like to fucking talk about is the guy that's mastering our record, that's doing work for our album that's coming out, did the first album for Nirvana. So we're really excited about
Jack
that.
and Dino.
Jack and Dino. Shout out Jack and Dino.
Damn, that's wild.
That's
hella
shit.
tight, bro. That's
Shit.
hella tight. That's some shit.
How did you guys meet? You know,
That
how
shit
did
was
you guys come in contact?
Well, you
basic. I
emailed
stalked
me,
that fool.
right?
No.
You're like, hey, you're not masking my shit, bro. You're not
No,
masking my shit.
straight up. So like I just looked up his website and I looked up all the bands he's ever done, and like I found all their emails and shit, all those bands, and I emailed like every single one. And I was like, do you like this? I just sent him like the Siren song we have on SoundCloud. I was like, do you like this? And if you do, like, you worked with them before, like, can you hit him up and be like, hey, you should like take a look at this band. And then like all of them said like that shit's trash, and then some of them were like not like didn't respond, but then like one band was like, this is actually really good, I like this. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it to him. And then when we gave it to him, he was like, he just sent me an email and he was like, I'm in. And I was like, hey. I was like, that shit's clutch.
Bro,
That shit is tight.
do you know how much fucking balls you gotta do to like be able to like, you know, reach out to that
Bro.
many people?
I'm a lot.
Especially because that was that what are they called, cold email, like cold
Yeah,
cold
like
emails.
Oh, cool
Yeah.
emails, yeah.
Because in reality, like you know you're gonna fucking reply. Like,
Yeah.
And like a lot, like this is a strategy that I've seen a lot of people use. Like, you know, coming from Oscar, coming from myself, coming from other businesses, like they're always sending people messages like, hey, like this is what I do or this is what I'm doing. Like, you know, do you like it?
Yeah.
Basically, type
Yeah,
of thing.
I mean,
Like,
that's
check
just
me out,
straight
type
up.
of thing.
Like,
And
yeah.
and it is true, like how he said, like this motherfucker just got this dude to fucking master his whole fucking album, you know, and it's off of him just being like,
Just wanting it. Just like
it's kind of just like on that like what if, it's like what if, you know, like what if.
Well, yeah, because I remember Jake, like, he suggested, he was just like, nah, you shouldn't go with him. It's like, the odds are, like, aren't there. It's like, you should go with, like, this one guy I recommend. And I was like, bet. I was like, we'll get I was like,
say less.
I was like, we'll get him.
We are reaching our 40-minute mark, you know, with camera drawbacks. I apologize again. I promise we'll have a better one next time you guys are on, because we always like to have people back on whenever they do
So that'd be great.
progress and get more going. It's always fucking nice to have that connection. It's like, what the fuck have you done since the last time we saw you, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, you guys have anything to say before we outro it out?
Shit, I don't know. Do you guys
Like a message to the kids or some shit, you know?
It's just always
Don't try
like
something.
pursue like your vision, whatever, something you're passionate about, just go for it. I know music's always something I've been passionate about, and now we're here making it happen day by day, just over time with progression, and yeah, just always pursue your vision, whatever you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add on?
Don't oppress gays.
Don't oppress the
Don't
gays.
oppress the gays. They're funny and they're cute. So.
Alright.
Cool.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Once again, this is another episode of What's in the Box. This has been number number 11. Myself, my boy Enrique, Kevin, and thank you, Selexa, for coming on today and What's in the Box.
Thank you.
Thank
Catch y'all later.
you. Thank you. Also.